welcome back to the channel. My name is Josiah, and today I'm going to be sharing with you an extra little, I guess you would say, bonus tutorial. You guys probably weren't expecting a video now, but had a bunch of free time on my hands considering school's kind of out today. So I decided why not go ahead and make a quick video. So today I'm going to be teaching you a color change. Now, what is a color change, you ask? Well, what a color change basically is, it's when you take one card, and it doesn't have to be a card of a different color. I used to think that when I was first starting out, but it works with, multiple colors and stuff. That sounded weird. Sorry, I meant, like the same. It can work with the same color. Anyway, basically what happens is that when you take one card and you change it into another, and you change it supposedly magically with, like a wave of your hand or, a shake of the hand or whatever. And so this one I'm going to be showing you is one I've been doing for a long time, and it's called the Erdnase Color Change, where you rub a card and it changes very visually and instantly into another card. So you're probably just wanting to get into it, so let's go. Alright, for this tutorial I'm going to be using the Fort Knox playing cards by House of Playing Cards and Alex Pandrea. It's a really, really cool deck of cards, and I'm really glad to have it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so taking a look at it, basically what's going to happen is we're going to rub a card and it's going to change. So from the intro, you probably saw what it looked like, but if you didn't watch the intro, this is what it looks like. You take a card, let's say the Ace of Hearts, we take it, we give it a little bit of a rub, and it instantly changes into the Ace of Clubs, and everything can be examined at the end. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And let me show you how it's done. Sorry, I'm dropping cards all over the place here. Anyway, basically how we're going to do this is, obviously it's a double. So I do a double lift at the beginning, but you don't have to do a double lift. I'm just going to show you this from the face of the deck that it works as well. So basically, with the face of the cards, basically what's happening is that you're going to have the top card is going to be the card that you're going to be changing, and the card beneath it is what it's going to change into. So basically, from an exposed view, what's going to happen, all that's happening is that this card, top card, is going to get pushed forward so that with the base of my hand, I can pull out the card beneath it, and as everything squares up, I just move that card over top of it. And it might sound complicated, it might sound super easy, but it's really cool. So basically what you do is you're going to cover the deck with your hand. As you do it, I like to use my pinky to do it, but you can just use your hand like that. Is you're basically just going to push forward this card enough so that you can expose the card beneath it a little bit. So we push this forward, and basically you're going to have your hand here, and using this base of the palm of your hand, basically, you're going to pull out this card beneath it. Now, when you're first starting out, you're going to get, you might get a couple cards, you might not get any cards, but over time you're going to learn the kind of pressure that you're going to need to get it out. It's kind of a light, but strong pressure. Not, a whole bunch of pressure, but it's not just a super light pressure, it's just kind of easy but strong pressure. And so you're just going to basically kind of pull your hand back, and as you do, what's going to happen is that card's going to get dragged out. And if I show you this, the card is basically just going to get dragged out, and I don't know if you can see that beneath my hand, but basically this is what it looks like from beneath. I don't know if that can show up on camera, but all that's happening is that when you drag the card out, it's going to end in something like almost like a gambler's, like if you don't know what the gambler's palm is, like this is the gambler's palm, almost like that, almost kind of like that position. So it's sort of like a classic palm and a gambler's palm mixed, where the card is kind of pulled back a little bit in the hand, but not quite enough to become a gambler's palm. It's going to be kind of like that in the hand, like that. All right? And you do this, and you get it into this position after you've pulled it out. So it's mostly visible from the left-hand side, actually, surprisingly, but you get it out like this. And all that happens is you use your index finger to square up this card, and you bring this hand over top, and when you pull your hand away, it changes. And I could just leave it there, but me being me, I'm going to go into a lot more detail than I probably need to. So, let's get a different card for this. Basically what you're going to do, once you push the card forward, there are a couple subtleties to make this look as good as possible, because if we just do the Erdnase Color Change like it was originally taught, we'd have this, back and forth action. It'd be kind of obvious how it's changing. It's kind of cool, but, it's kind of still kind of obvious how it's changed. So we're going to make it better. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to use our pinkies. Instead of pushing forward the card, we're going to use our pinky to kind of push it forward. So we kind of hit the card with our pinky and we kind of just kick it forward like this. And we do that as we come forward. So we have it here and we're exposing the card beneath it. So we pull the card out beneath it. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. So basically what we do is as we come over is we're going to come away from the deck with the card out. And in this case, I kind of pushed it into a palm. Now that's a little bit harder to do, to still do this, because normally when you do it, it's kind of like this. So once it's here in this position, I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. But you come over here and using these fingers, you just kind of press up to hold that card there. As you show this card here, you square up and then you come over top to show it change. And it's kind of a cooler change because it's a lot more visual and a lot more impossible. So push the card forward, you get this one out. Now for me, when I usually do this, because I use my pinky to push that forward, I normally almost maneuver the card into almost like a modified classic palm position so that I can more easily come here with it. Okay, and so just coming over here to hold it here is just such a nice way to make it change. So the next thing you're going to do is something I like to do, and it's this. And so it's almost like a paintbrush motion, almost like I'm painting the card on, I like to think of it. And so I square up, and as I square up, I come over top. And I do it as quickly as possible. As soon as I've covered, I come back. And it looks almost like and if you do it at the right way, it looks like it changes underneath your fingers. And so what's really cool is once you're here, once you come over top, if you instantly open your fingers, not a huge, but if you open your fingers slightly, and you come back with your fingers kind of open, it creates the illusion that the card just changed underneath your fingers. Like if you have this kind of change going on here, where you kind of, I'm not going to teach that right now. I can't really do it that well anyway, but, being completely honest, I can't do that change very well. I'm still working on it, but that's for another day. For now, we're just going to focus on this one. So basically, what you're going to do is, once you've done this, there's a few more subtleties that'll really make this super cool. So the first subtlety that you might like is just a different way to do this paintbrush. And it looks like this. It's the way I did it a long time ago, where you're kind of wiggling your fingers as you do this. I think it kind of looks cool to do this just back and forth across diagonally, because then you get that nice, cool little motion. Sorry, this card is like... Anyway. So basically, you get this whole that, or you can do that. It's that simple. I'm not gonna explain it a lot because it's super easy to just watch it and see, how that subtlety works. So the next subtlety happens in the form of a double. So if you do a double lift, which link to a tutorial for a double lift down below, if you do a double lift and you flip over your double, in the case that was it was a double. Sorry, I didn't feel like a double, but it was. Once you do your double, you do your change, and then what's really cool is that you can actually do this really cool thing where you kind of do this. And basically all I do is I'm just doing a standard double lift, like the original. And basically all that's happening with this is, if I kind of show you from a back sort of view here, basically all I'm doing is I'm using my thumb to riffle up the cards like this until I get those two cards, and I kind of just feel, and then I just lift up like this, and I can set these down on the table like that, keeping them square. Or what I can do is I can take these away, I can flip the deck over, I can set these here, and I take this away to set it here. And as I do that, obviously, I don't want people to see another color change here, because that's going to give it away. So once I set this here, I'm just going to wrist kill, meaning I turn the deck away from them toward me as I set it here, and people can examine that all they want. Another quick subtlety that I'll show you is this one here with a double is what I did in the performance, which is, or I don't know if I did in the performance now, but it's kind of what I do normally, and that is that I do a KM move. So what I do is as I get that double as before, and I get a break, or I do just a push off, but in the performance I did a riffle, and I'm going to just do a push off for the explanation, and I just do what's called the KM move. And I'll do a more updated tutorial for the KM move in a second, but basically all that's happening is you're going to get your double, like this. And basically, you're just going to use your fingers back here to pull this card back as you take this card away. So I know it's sounds super complicated, but all that's happening from behind the scenes view is I take my double off. As I turn my hand over, I use my fingers here to grab this as I take that away. And at full speed, you know, when you combine it with, you know, a change, and then, you know, really cool way to do it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. At this point, you know, there's not much to it. Just kind of lean back and, you know, let people take over, examine everything. And that's it. Alright, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did like the video, I mean, if you like a video, you should like the video. I think that's common sense. I don't know if it is or not, but I think it is. But the thing is that I understand today's tutorial might have been shorter, and you might not have been expecting a tutorial for my channel so short, considering my past tutorials have been 17 minutes, and 22 minutes. But I think this one only deserves a little bit. Really, there's not much to it. You just, yeah, what I just taught, that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. There's no need for me to, you know, stretch out the tutorial, make it longer than it needs to be. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So, stay tuned, because, if you have not heard yet, which I've been posting it many times, so you probably have heard about it if you've been following my channel, but if you haven't, I am going to be, on February 20th, uploading a video for a tutorial, kind of like an add-on to a previous tutorial for that trick, and it's a trick called Camberwell, where you tear a corner, you vanish it as clean as can be, you can show the front and the back of the card throughout the trick. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. So I think you'll like it. Stay tuned for that. Also, my next video coming this Saturday or Sunday. I'm not going to stick to the whole Saturday thing anymore, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So just the weekend, sometime I'll get a video. But anyway, this coming weekend, I'm going to have another video, and rather than it being a tutorial, I'm debating between two things. I'm either going to do a review, like a product review, magic product review, or I'm going to do a reacting to magic video. So I would appreciate it if you guys commented down below, because that would help me with my decision. If you don't, it's okay. But if you would comment down below, you know, what do you think I should do? Think I should do reacting to magic, or do you think I should do, what was I saying? Product review. That was what I was saying. Sorry about that. I forgot. Brain fart moment. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.